The Early Childhood Education Grant provides funding to support high-quality early learning preschool services that prepare children for success in kindergarten. The grant funding allows programs to maximize children's early educational experiences before kindergarten and provide high-quality early learning services to eligible children. Chartered non-public schools and programs licensed by the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services will use the Enterprise Application System, EAS. Public school districts, educational service centers, joint vocational schools, departments of developmental disabilities, and community schools will use the Education Management Information System, or EMIS. There is a diagram in the printed tutorial document that will help you with initial steps to access the EAS system. Applications are required for individual students. This guide to complete student applications goes through each step of the process. Student applications are to be submitted by October 31st or within 30 days of enrollment. Contact Early Childhood Education at education.ohio.gov with any questions. The provider application must be submitted and approved prior to entering a new student application. After the provider application has been submitted and approved, click on the New Student Application link in the Student drop-down menu. Enter the student's date of birth. Enter the student's first and last name exactly as it appears on the birth certificate, and then click the Search button. If the child comes up because they've been entered by another program, please contact your regional specialist to complete the transfer to your program. Otherwise, click on the Here link to add a new student application. Enter the student's first, middle, and last name. Enter all names that appear on the birth certificate, even if there are more than one middle or last names. Please use proper capitalization and do not use all caps or all lowercase. If the student does not have a middle name, check the Student Has No Middle Name box. If the student does have a middle name, it must be entered. If the student has a suffix at the end of the name, please use the suffix drop-down. Do not add the suffix to the last name. Enter the student's date of birth. Enter the mother's maiden last name. Select gender. Select ethnicity and native language. If two boxes are checked for race on the JFS 01121 Early Childhood Education Eligibility Screening Tool, please select multiracial. If yes is indicated for Hispanic or Latino, select Hispanic for ethnicity. Enter the last 4 digits of the student's Social Security number, if available. If the Social Security number is not available, click the SSN Not Available box. Enter the birthplace city as shown on the birth certificate. If the birth certificate says Ohio, please enter Ohio. Enter the state which issued the birth certificate in the field for birthplace state. Enter the State Student Identifier, SSID, if available. If this information is not available, leave blank. Select the application period that matches the fiscal year in which the student received Early Childhood Education Grant services. Select the county where the legal school district of residence is located. Select the student's legal district of residence. Enter the residency begin date. This is the beginning day of the fiscal year, July 1st, or the date the student began attending your program through ECE grant funding if after July 1st. Indicate whether the student has an existing individualized education program. Select the poverty level percentage option. Select the proficiency of English language. Select the provider. Select the lead teacher teaching this student. If the lead teacher is not listed in the drop-down list, you will need to add this teacher in the Staff tab in the Provider section. After all required information has been entered in both the student information and the application information sections, Click the Create New Student Application button at the bottom of the page. The first tab of the student application is Student. Basic information that the user just entered about the student should show up on this tab. To make any edits, click the pencil icon and make the needed changes, and then click the Update Student button. The second tab of the student application is Application. Here, users can add either the program's Ohio Department of Job and Family Services license number or the Ohio Department of Education Building IRN, as well as edit application information, legal district of residency, and provider list. Click the pencil icon by either the ODJFS license number or the ODE Building IRN to enter information for the building at which the child is enrolled. Once the information is entered, click the Save icon. The legal district of residence allows the user to edit the existing record by selecting the pencil icon to the right of the record, or add new information by selecting Add Residency District button at the bottom. The List of Providers section allows the user to edit the existing record by selecting the pencil icon to the right of the record, or add a new record by selecting the Add Transfer button at the bottom. Enter the enrollment start date, which is the beginning day of the fiscal year, or the date the student began attending your program through ECE grant funding if after July 1st. Enter the enrollment end date, which is the date the student ended at the provider location. Remember to come back and add this date if a student disenrolls from your program. The next step is to click on the Docs tab. Click on the birth certificate link at the left in the yellow box. If the child's birth certificate is not in English, a notarized translation, passport, or residency card can be used instead. No other forms of age documentation can be accepted. Browse to your electronic copy of the student's birth certificate and click Upload. Click on the Status Flags tab. Click the Submitted link to forward the application to the department for review. You have completed an EAS student application and can start entering student attendance and early learning assessment scores at any time. Please note that after submitting, you will not receive any additional status updates such as approved or eligible. Under review is the final status for this grant. Student eligibility is determined at the local level. This wraps up the information we have to present to you today. Be sure you sign up for the Early Learning newsletter at the bottom of our website. Check our Early Childhood Education Grants page frequently for additional resources. Make sure you communicate staffing and contact information changes to us so that you don't miss important information. Please be sure to reach out with any questions you may have. Our team is here to help. Thanks for your attention and have a great day.